Hello and welcome to DSCJ Home Classes. Hope you all are fine. Has have you come across miracle in your life? If I ask you, has any time such thing happened to you in your life? If you go on defining miracle, miracle means any impossible action or any impossible happening which is unbelievable, which can't be done, like we do other things, or it is believed that it is done by God or by any supernatural being. It is like if I give you an example, suppose you are traveling by bus, God forbid that, and you met with an accident and your car plunged into the river. It was almost 100 feet below the road, and then still you get up on your own without being injured. That is a miracle. If you're supporting your cricket team, and suddenly what happens, it is impossible, their victory is impossible. It is impossible for them to win the game if they have to score 36 runs in 5 deliveries, and suddenly what happens, 5 sixes, 1 no ball, and 6 on that no ball as well. That is a miracle. Suppose anybody is able to walk, is able to live his life normally after paralysis, or anybody who is suffering from cancer but he gets well without medication. That is a miracle. Okay, that is something which is not in your hands, which is not within your powers, and it is believed that there is divine interference, and it is something done by God. This sort of thing is miracle, which you call mu'jiza in Urdu. Okay, today we are going to study a poem, and it is Miracle, the second poem of class 10, and it is a miracle written by Walt Whitman. See the pronunciation of this word Whitman. Some people pronounce it as Whiteman, other people Whitman, but it is neither Whiteman nor Whitman. It is Whitman, born in 1819 and died in 1892. He was, if I say something about the writer of this poem, the poet of this poem, Whitman, he was American poet who was believed to be often believed to be the father of free verse, means the poem without any rhyme scheme. He was very good at that, and the present poem which we are going to study, Miracles, it is also written in free verse. And his main work was his collection of poetry, which was titled Leaves of Grass, which was a very controversial work, but it was the work of Walt Whitman, and he was American poet. Okay, now about miracles, I would like to give a bit introduction about this poem, or what does he write here, or what does he want to say in this poem. Walt Whitman, actually, I told you what actually the miracle is, how it is defined when you look into the dictionaries. And then but we see he provides a different point of view. He provides his own point of view about miracles. He sees at it very differently, and you can say, and he sees miracles in everyday life. He sees miracles in city life. He sees miracles in his home every day. He sees miracles in nature. He sees miracles in this world on earth. And whatever he sees in this world, according to him, that is a miracle. Every small detail of this earth is a miracle for him. Every small thing is a miracle. Every inch of land is a miracle for him. And we will discuss everything, whatever he regards miracle, whatever he says according to him, whatever is miracle. We will discuss everything of it, which he has said in his poem. And he provides a different point of view about miracle. This is all about the poem Miracle. But first, before discussing the different things about the poem, we would like to I would like to recite the poem to you. First, let us recite the poem. Why? Who makes much of a miracle? As to me, I know of nothing else but miracles. Whether I walk the streets of Manhattan or dart my sight over the roofs of houses toward the sky, or wade with naked feet along the beach just in the edge of the water, or stand under trees in the woods, or talk by day with anyone I love, or sit at table at dinner with the rest, or look at strangers opposite me riding in the car, or watch honeybees busy around the hive on a summer forenoon, or animals feeding in the fields, or the wonderfulness of the sundown, or of stars shining so quiet and bright, or the exquisite delicate thin curve of the new moon in spring. These with the rest, one and all, are to me miracles. The whole referring, yet each distinct and in its place. To me every hour of the light and dark is a miracle. Every cubic inch of space is a miracle. Every square yard of the surface of the earth is spread with the same. Every foot of the interior swarms with the same. To me the sea is a continual miracle. The fishes that swim, the rocks, the motion of the waves, the ships with men in them. What stranger miracles are there? Now, after the recitation of the poem, let us see what actually is a miracle for Walt Whitman in the poem. So, I have written certain things on the board. The first thing, according to him, the streets of Manhattan, they are a miracle. The human beings on the street, Manhattan is actually the most crowded place in New York City in America. So, the streets of Manhattan is they are actually a miracle for him. The crowded streets of Manhattan, houses towards sky, those skyscrapers touching the sky, the roofs of the houses touching the sky. These things are miracle for Walt Whitman. Then wading along the beach, the touch of the water while walking along the beach, that is miracle for Walt Whitman. And then standing under trees in the woods, feeling the breeze of the spring, feeling the breeze of the nature. Okay, that is a miracle for him. Then we have talking with loved ones, talking with a person whom you love very much. That is a miracle for Walt Whitman. Talking with anybody or being with anybody is a kind of miracle for Walt Whitman. And then he mentions sitting and dining, sitting at the table, dining table, and dining with the members of your family, dining with the friends and all others, whoever is there. That is miracle for Walt Whitman. And then we have looking strangers in car. Whenever you travel, whenever you travel on the foot, or whether you're in the car, whenever you see stranger, whenever he sees stranger in the opposite cars, those strangers, that looking at them is miracle for him. You can see how the small things, what kind of small things are miracle for Walt Whitman. Then moving to next, watching honeybees around the hive, watching honeybees, the activities of honeybees and the buzzing of those honeybees, the hum and buzzing of those honeybees around the hive, the activities of honeybees around the hive. It is a miracle for Walt Whitman. Then we have animals feeding in the fields. The animals feeding in the fields, here and there, grazing in the fields. That is, this simple thing is a miracle for Walt Whitman. Then moving to next, sunset, stars, new moon, all these things. All these natural things are miracle for the poet. Sunset, when it sets, the shining stars, and he has written a phrase like the delicate thin curve of the new moon in spring. That is that thin curve of the moon in spring, that new moon. That is that the image of that new moon is a miracle for him. Then every hour of light and dark is miracle for him. every moment. You can see you can see the day, the night. It is a miracle for him. It is not less than a miracle. Okay, and then we have next, every cubic inch of space. Every cubic inch of space is a miracle for him. Every square yard of Earth's surface, every inch of Earth's surface is also a miracle for him. Every foot of interior of it, every foot of interior of the earth, whatever is here inside the earth, every foot of it, that is also a miracle for him. Sea and all the activities happening in the sea, fishes, rocks, waves, the ships with man in them, all these things are miracle for Whitman. So you can see these small things. This is his point of view. According to him, these small things, these small happenings, he has drawn certain small things from his daily life and showed us that what according to him is are miracles. Okay, so these were the list according to him, which are miracles for him. Now, moving to the next point, we'll discuss certain things: the title, theme, poetic devices, and all these things. So far as the title is concerned, miracles, as we discussed at the very outset, that miracle, we have one point of view about miracle, but the writer, the poet, he has a different point of view about the miracles. For him, every small thing is miracle. Everything, whatever is happening in the world, that is a miracle. He provides a different view of it, and that is a miracle. And then the theme of it. The theme, we have different themes. We can have different themes in this poem, like the most important, love of humanity and nature. This is the main theme of the poem. Love of humanity. How he says that spending time with loved ones, that is a miracle. How he says that looking at strangers in the cars, that is a miracle. How he says that the crowded city or the crowded place of Manhattan, that is a miracle for him. So he loves mankind. He loves humanity. This is one theme. Then nature. We also saw different things about nature. Sitting under a tree in the wood, that is a miracle for him. That is a sunset. That is a miracle for him. That shining stars are a miracle for him. That sea is miracle for him. The fishes, they are miracle for him. Everything happening on the land or inside the water, that is miracle for him. So he has shown his love of nature also. So these are it was the main theme of it. Then moving to the second theme, appreciating life. Every small detail of life. Appreciating every small detail of life, every small thing in your life, whatever is happening when you wake up early in the morning, and then when you sleep in the evening, in between, whatever happens there, everything is appreciable. So we must not forget the things. We must not forget the blessings by God, okay, which are given by Him. Which whatever is dear around us in our lives, that is a blessing by God. So we must appreciate. Or you can say the other. I would like to use the other word for it, optimism. Optimism is the theme in it. We must not miss those small things in our daily lives, and we must have that positive attitude in our life. Then the third point, the third theme, you can say the world is a miracle, according to Whitman. And it simply means, what it simply means, this beautiful world, this is a beautiful world, beautiful creation of God. This is itself a miracle. The world is a miracle, and it is really a miracle if you look at it. This is a miracle. So it was about the themes of it. And then moving to the poetic devices. About poetic devices, imagery, beautiful imagery has been used in the poem. Metaphor, I would like to say the whole poem is a metaphor. Whole poem is a metaphor. Why? Because according to him, the world itself is miracle. Whatever he mentions, whatever the catalog which he gives in the poem, all the things, those are almost all the things in the world. Every happening in the world, everything in the world is a miracle for him. So he compares or he says the whole world is a miracle, or miracle is a world. That is a metaphor. The whole poem is a metaphor, actually. We see the imagery and first person point of view and free verse, according to if we see the rhyme scheme, we see there is no rhyme scheme, there is free verse. We can have a look at the text, and we can get it from there. So students, so far as the point of view is concerned, point of view first means it is the mode of narration actually which a poet employs to show his readers what actually is happening, or what will happen in the poem, or what is there in the poem. It is actually the reflection of the opinion of an individual about the situation which he is in. So here we have there are different kinds of points of view. We have first person point of view, second person point of view, third person point of view, but in this poem the poet has used first person point of view. Like we can say, we can use the words like I, and I know of nothing else but miracles. Whether I walk, so I, the personal pronoun I has been used. So you can use in the first person point of view, you can use the pronouns like I, we, me, these things. So the speaker here is the poet himself. So this is the first person point of view used by the poet. Then moving towards the rhyme scheme in the poem, there is no rhyme scheme in the poem. The poem is written in free verse, as I told you earlier that Whitman was also called the father of free verse. You can see there is no rhyme. There are no similar words or similar sounds at the end of the lines. Miracles, place, miracle, miracle, same, miracle. So irregular rhyme. There is irregular rhyme. So you can say there is free verse used by the poet. And now we have another poetic device, that is imagery, used in the poem. So imagery means actually a poet, he sometimes engages the reader's attention. He engages the senses of the readers. Okay, when he engages them, the sense of sight, sense of smell, sense of taste, all these things, sense of touch. It means that he has used such sort of vocabulary, such sort of words, which created a kind of imagery in those in the poem, creation of certain images in the poem. So we have visual imagery usually used here. So in almost in every line of the poem, you will find the imagery used. You will have certain images in your mind, like the streets of Manhattan, like housing towers, the roofs of the houses towards sky, those skyscrapers, the image of skyscrapers. You have another image wading along the beach, walking along the beach, and then you slightly feel the touch of the water with your feet, and that means tactile imagery. And then he engages on the sense of touch here. And then you have sitting and dining at dinner table with your loved ones, another image. Looking strangers in car, another image. Watching honeybees around hive, their activities, the image of honeybees around hive, it comes to your mind whenever you read that line. That is also the visual image. And there is actually auditory image also, the humming and the buzzing of the bees, the image of buzzing of the bees also is here. You can hear that image, that buzzing of the honeybees. So that image is also created here. So animals feeding in fields, the image of animals feeding in the fields, sunset, stars, new moon, all these things you can see. You can have the images of all these things. Cubic inch of space, every square yard of Earth's surface, the image of that. Every foot of interior, you get the image of the interior of the Earth here. The image of sea, fishes, rocks, waves, ships with men in it. So in almost in every line he has used such vocabulary, such diction in the poem, such words in the poem, which create certain images in your mind, and it appeals to your different senses. Mostly the visual image, it appeals to your sense of sight, and there are certain things like the humming of bees, it appeals to your sense of hearing. And then wading along the beach, and it appeals to your the sense of touch. So these were different things we discussed here about the poem. Now I would like to give home task to you. What we have to do, you have to make a list of certain miracles which according to you are miracles, or any miracle which happened to you, which you came across in your life. You have to mention that. Please mention that. Or anything anything which you expect, any miracle which you expect to happen in your life, if there is any such thing, any such miracle which you expect, please mention it in your notebook, and please do work in those those things. And thank you very much. At last, I would like to give the meaning of two words which will help you in understanding this poem. Written on the board, dart. When he uses it in the poem, or dart, the line is, or dart my sight over the roofs of houses toward the sky. So dart means to make quick movement. So here he wants to say, when he makes quick movement of the eyes or the sight over the roofs of the houses toward the sky, and it was that. And then there is another word, another phrase, make much of. The very first line, when he asks the question, why, who makes much of a miracle? Make much of, that means get excited about. So he wants to say in the very first line, he can't understand, he poses a question, why, and who is excited, and why are people excited or about the miracles? What do they think about the miracles? What is why do they find such admiration for miracles here? So it was this. One more thing I would like to say. He starts the poem with a question. The very first line is in the form of a question, like he says, why, who makes much of a miracle? Why are people excited about all these things, miracles? Why do they talk about miracles? What according to them is miracle? And then he gives the catalogue of his own miracles. What according to him is miracle? And then the poem ends with a question. The poem ends with a question. The line which poses a question, he ends with a question. He says that what stranger miracles are there? That when he gives his own catalogue, his own list of miracles, that these are miracles. इसके अलावा और क्या miracles हो सकते हैं भाई इस दुनिया में? This is what he wants to say. So at last, I would like to end the poem with a famous quote of George Bernard Shaw: "Life itself is the miracle of miracles." Thank you.